we should wait for.
Hello, my name is Aaron Romero, and I'm a part of Backpack. I feel like a common story, and when people get into hiking and backpacking, it's like, oh, I don't really know if it was for me, and then I got into it and changed my life, which is essentially the same thing that happened to me.
My name is Cyril. I joined because I love the outdoors and I love to push myself. It's just a sense of community. Like all these people get together and they enjoy the same things as you, and just create this special bond between each other. Like everybody has this connection to the outdoors.
My name is Santiago Arjona Gomez. I started getting into backpacking because actually one of my friends suggested I join, and I was like, oh yeah, that sounds fun, I'll check it out.
What I want you to do is I want you to say your name, and then I want you to like add something as if you're a part of a stomp team. So you would like add some sort of a clap, like jump, like whatever you want. So I'd be like, I'm Max.
Wait, and then you have to do his
My name is Henry Southwick Maxfield III, but everyone knows me by Max. The purpose of OLT is to create leaders, is to create people, students that are capable of leading trips, but also that leadership transfers to their lives outside of outdoor leadership. And so they're leaders in the classroom, they're leaders in their social lives, they're leaders in their families, in their relationships. And so really the goal of OLT is to make tremendous and capable human beings.
In OLT, we have ranks. Everybody starts as a pebble, and then they move on to a rock. And then from rock to boulder, you have to master 3 skills. Right now, I'm a boulder, and to become a monolith, you have to plan your own trip, a candidacy. So you pick the place where you're going, you plan everything day by day, and then the risks, how many miles, elevation, how many cars do we have to rent. And I'm in the process of that right now. And we're going up to the Sierra Mountain, the Eastern Sierra Mountains. I hope people can get something out of it. That's my hope. So they can like enjoy the outdoors as much as I do. I want people to get so in depth with nature that they get comfortable wherever they want.
I think that there's both discomfort and comfort happening at the same time, and I think that the comfort almost like comes from the discomfort. Like it's inherently somewhat uncomfortable in that students are sleeping outside on these little mats and eating who knows what, pooping outside, having to filter their water. Like it's just a little bit more difficult to meet your basic needs. Needing to stay warm or like cool down, things like that.
People get comfortable when there's a sense of community, or like a sense of trust where everybody's just like hanging out, having a good time.
I think they feel comfortable with the people around them because like that's as close as you're gonna get with someone at school, you know, going living in nature with them for a couple of days. And like throughout, as you're walking, you kind of start connecting with people, and like you're only there with them, so like you basically end up feeling like they support you and everything. So I feel like the connections that you have with people are long enough to like be comfortable in them, and like the scene is like, oh, this is great, you know, like we're sleeping together, how much more comfortable can we get with each other, you know? So I guess that's like one of the reasons that I'd say we're comfortable in backpacking. The value of OLT for me is being able to make friendships, being able to become a leader, and being able to like take good experiences from trips, and just overall learning and connecting with people.
My value of OLT, I find peace when I'm outside. Like 4 walls just don't, like being encaged all day, like in a room, it's so nerve-wracking to me. Like I need to be outside, and OLT has done that for me.
The most transformative educational experiences that I've had have been outside. I think I can say that confidently. maybe with the exception of like 1 and 2. But for the most part, the most transformative experiences, educational experiences I've had have been outside. And so I think like having been in the place of like student, and let me backtrack on that. I think having had those experiences, like I know how impactful the outdoors can be, and I want others to experience that as well. So that's one reason I'm passionate, is just from like a personal level.
I don't really think you can put a value on anything. I guess like it ranges. It varies person to person. A person who just joined one-on-one trip, they might not value it as much besides a nice experience. But as someone who's been in it for 3 years and was in it when the founders of it were there, I place a lot of value on it.
I know how much I know how much people, but especially students in high school, really struggle with confidence and with understanding how capable they really are of doing things. And so I am so passionate about OLT because I believe it's probably the most important transformative tool in promoting students' own individual growth and their confidence and their power and their leadership. It really helps them be better people. And a big side goal of that is to also make them aware of their connection to nature, the environment, get them outdoors and active, get them aware about sustainability issues, get them promote awareness of just how important our environment is to our future as people and to them as individuals.
One of my roles in being, I guess, like an instructor or teacher for OLT is to make sure that students are safe. I've gone through like medical training to make sure that if someone was injured in the outdoors, that I would be able to take care of them until someone who is an EMT, until they're with like an actual medical professional. So I think for me, in terms of risk management, it's like reviewing that stuff, like making sure that I remember all the training that I have, and then making sure that we have like first aid kits that have all the equipment that I would need or someone else would need in order to take care of someone. We also carry a GPS device that sends out a signal. If we press like the SOS button on it, it sends out a signal to dispatch to the dispatching area, who will then like either send in a search and rescue team via helicopter or on foot. And then some of the things that I've done to just like make sure that the club is safer this year is to establish like an emergency response plan. So like depending on the severity of like the injury or the illness, like what do we do? Like is it just a matter of like if we're in the wilderness, like having that student hike out with another student and a teacher? Is it like when do we need to like have a helicopter come in, etc.? So just like figuring out that plan and communicating with like Shamika and Angie, and I think in addition, just like making sure that there's like open lines of communication between me, Shamika, and Angie, so that they know what's going on, so that if something were to arise, they're not like caught off guard as to like what we're doing. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that happens in terms of risk management.
Risk management is the number one priority when we're out there. But as far as like to how we enforce it and how we make sure that everyone's safe, is knowledge is power. Knowing the risk, knowing, thinking of every possible worst case scenario, and planning out the solution for that, that's essentially the way to go about it, especially up there, because when you're up there, when you're in nature, like it's solidarity. We're in a group, but we're alone essentially.